Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. The Pokemon Company has just announced more news about the 2027 Championship Series, and I haven't looked at any of this yet. I saw this come out. I said, you know what? We're going to read through it together, see what's going on. There's some cool stuff in there like qualification systems and the global challenges are continuing. Chat, it's over. Guys, it's so over. But anyways, we're going to jump right into things here. My first time going through this as well, so I may do a little bit more reading than usual. But you guys are going to get my honest reaction because it's going to be the very first time I see this information as well. So, event schedule, we got season calendar, which is pretty cool. I'm going to go very quickly through this. I think I'm going to look at mostly the North American circuit here. We got Big Baltimore again. It looks like we're going Baltimore back into Louisville, which is kind of cool. Obviously, this is going to be more regionals as we go. I'm not really going to react to this too much right now. I heard rumors that Vegas is back as well, so I do want to verify that. There it is, Las Vegas Pokemon Regionals. So, once again, I'm not going to go through the full schedule. As always, links will be down below. I don't think it really matters too much about like, oh, hey, cool, we have this regional back, right? Baltimore's a good one to see. I like going to Baltimore a few years ago, so I don't mind seeing that. And of course, we do have that World Championships coming up in August as well. But back to where we were here. We got location. We knew North America was Chicago. I believe that was announced at last NAIC, so I don't think that's any like new information. But I heard, I hear good things. I heard the convention center is a lot bigger, so hopefully we won't have any like registration issues or anything like that this time around, or at least a lot less of them. Championship points and best finish limits. What do we have? League Challenge and League Cup. Okay. League Cup, smaller event play. League Challenges are entry level. Attending them. I think all this is pretty much going to be same until I miss something and you guys all scream at me in the chat. So I believe 15, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4. That's all the same. That all looks very similar to me. I don't think that's too far out there. I think that's all pretty same as long as, yeah. And then 50, 40, 32, I see no difference. Maybe some of the kickers have adjusted, but in terms of like the points you actually earn, I'm not seeing an issue. Looks like there's going to be best finish limits of 4 each, so locals appear to be the same. I don't see any changes in locals. Once again, if I'm wrong, my bad, but they appear to be the exact same as they were in the past. So that's fine. I don't mind seeing that. Those didn't really need a rework. I think those were pretty well built. Is there any like change to like when TOs can host them? I don't think so. To bring your own Pokemon games under Nintendo Switch system. It says nothing about Pokemon Go. Sorry, not Pokemon Go. About championships, Pokemon Champions being played on mobile, right? Like this to me is you need to still bring your Switch system to actually play in an event, which is a little weird. Like I figured this was going to be the case at least for a little bit, but at the same time you have this game on mobile. You would think they would, especially at a local, want you playing on mobile, or at least having the option to play on mobile. So I wonder if this is just an oversight, or if it's just a decision they've decided to make and say, you know what, if you're actually going to compete in the circuit, you need to have a Switch, which it's a weird one to me. I'm not sure if I necessarily like that. I think it makes organization a lot cleaner at locals, but I also think it makes it a little bit more limiting, and we're back to like, what was the whole point of mobile? So not sure how I like that, but we'll I guess we'll get into that later. I guess cool. TCG gets a playmat. VGC gets nothing as per usual. Oh, we're still going. At some large events, Challenge Cups may take place. Pokemon Challenge Cup. Okay, sure. So that's just saying at regionals and stuff, there's side events. Global Challenge, I'd imagine this is going to be similar. I don't think they were really going to rework this. Global challenges, the only difference is that champion points on the road is limited within regions again. That's good. We got dates for them: September, October, December, January, March, and April. And they're going to take the best 4 by the looks of things up here. Sorry, guys, my eyes are all over the place right now. So, once again, If it's not the easiest to track, my apologies, but these links are down below if you want to follow along yourself. Like I said, first time for myself, so using the table below looks to be the same. Once again, you get that huge jump between top 8 and top 16. And then even top 16 to top 32 is a pretty decent jump there as well. So once again, if you're looking for like meaningful points out of this, you're probably wanting like top 16 or higher in your region, which it's doable because they are breaking it down by region. I've never, I don't know, it just seems like a lot of work to get 7 points, you know, or like to get 33rd and get like 11. It just doesn't seem like it's worth it when I can get 128th and get 7. Like I'm getting like 4 more points, you know. All the differences in these brackets down here, just they're all so like bunched together, and then all of a sudden they're just like, haha, 25. And I get it, they need to like reward the top, but I don't know how they separate this at the bottom. Like instead of 25 to 13, why not just like go from 25 to like 20, and then from like 20, like if this was 20, you could make this like 17 or 18, you know, just scale it down a little bit less. And I mean, maybe, you know, and maybe have like this be 5 points instead. You could probably get to that. It seems a little bit more reasonable than whatever this is, but it seems to be the same as last year. Not really much to go off of there. No news is good news there, I guess. Regional and specials, I think these are all going to be the same or similar. I'm going to be honest, I didn't really see too much in terms of like championship points distribution last year. I wasn't really like in tune or in the know on that, so I'm not going to be knowing if there's going to be any differences. Aside from international championships, Pokemon, I think I have to click on them separately, right? International championships, this appears to be dates and locations, which is nice. International championship prizing, which I mean, I think is the same. I'm honest with you guys, I don't know much about this, so I'm going to go very briefly over this. I'm looking at championship points, but I didn't actually attend an international championship this season. So in terms of me being in the know on what the point payout looks like, it's really tough for me to say. Although I will say, they still made ICs broken. Like 100 points for top 256 skews your numbers immensely, right? And obviously any better finish is just even better than that. So I don't know if it's the same or similar, but obviously first place being 500. Do we have news on, is it like top 4 players get worlds? Like what's the auto invite here? Is that going to say it here? Travel award, tiebreakers, booster packs. I don't care. Okay. Is there like news on automatic invite? I don't see it in this section, so maybe I missed it. But I don't know why they would change that. I think that was a pretty good system. International championships, the Pokemon regional championships, both of them advanced to championship points payouts. Okay, guys, they're all over the place here. I always hated. Wait, where'd my webcam go? Hello, camera. I fixed it. All right, camera's back. Anyways, earn championship points when you compete in championships events. Yeah. Just regional champions awarding more and smaller championship points are awarded. I'm really just looking to see if we have automatic invites still. I would imagine they're not going to get rid of that. Yo, we get 90? Yo, we're making moves. Every year they give us just a few more. Every year they give us just a few more participants, guys. Every year they're like, we got this. We're going to get 90 again. So once again, my take on this is I do appreciate the challenge that we are going for in terms of making worlds a little more exclusive. I think it's a very cool concept to have the worlds be the bigger, the more exclusive event, as well as a celebration of Pokemon, right? Back in the day, you know, you kind of had to just hit your championships point bar. So everybody, for example, who hit 500 points would get to go to Worlds. And we had a huge, like a massive Worlds. I believe it was Hawaii, was like 400, 500 VGC players alone. If I remember correctly, my numbers may be slightly off. But to me, that was awesome, right? But the added element of having it be a little bit more exclusive, a little bit more harder to achieve, I think is correct. My hatred toward this type of system is it doesn't allow a break, and it does still reward players who can get to more events than others. Right? Now, obviously, their best way to limit this is to hinder the best finish limits, which I haven't been able to see yet if they've gone for that this time around. So my main concern here, right, is there's not good players sometimes can't get to 800 events. And then other players that do get to, 800 events, obviously being a little bit exaggerated here. You know what I mean though, right? Like if you're able to just go to more events, you're giving yourself more chances and eventually you're going to accumulate more points than somebody who can't go to that many events. However, the only other alternative for this is to have a points bar again, so people who hit whatever amount of points move forward. I would like to see that get brought back, because then you can map out your season and it doesn't matter how the rest of the season goes, how anybody else does. You know you, and you know what you have to do to achieve, right? Like even if they made it something absurd, let's just say they made it 1,000 points, right? If they decided to say, hey, we're going to make this 1,000 points and anybody who hits 1,000 points gets an invite, that would be fine, because me mathematically, I can say, look, I can afford to go to 5 regionals. This is what I have to do to get my invite, and it's simple. And I can math it out, and I can just go based on point breakdown. I need a top 256 once, I need a top 64 twice, whatever it has to be, whatever that scenario would end up breaking down into being. It would be a lot more feasible and a lot less of a panic than this system here. Now, I do like I said, the exclusivity of it, but I definitely disagree with the immediate grind and the feel that you need to go to every event. And obviously, it's pay to win a little bit as well right now. I don't normally like using that term, but honestly, if you're able to just go to more events, you're able to get an invite. So I do like the exclusivity of this system. I just feel like they've got to they've got to find a way to limit I'm able to go to 72 events and fix that. And I mean, their best finish limits are the attempt at doing that, but I still think they're too high unless they have changed that this season, which I haven't seen yet. But of course, here's the auto invite stuff that I was looking for earlier with the championships first place, regionals first place, and internationals being first to fourth place get the auto invites, which makes sense. They do not pass down, so basically if you win an event and then win another event, you just take up one of the auto invites. That's fine. What's new in 2027? That's a link I'm going back to, unless they just didn't change this, because this might just be the old list as well, right? No, it looks like it's good. I don't know why they would direct me to the old one if it wasn't going to be the one they're going to use. So back over this way, that was the championship points payouts. No qualifications. Nothing different there. Regional and special championships? Because this is the same thing. This is what I was just on, right? Yeah. Point payouts appear to be pretty similar. Kickers remain similar, the same, just double as to what the placement needs to be. Five regionals shared between internationals, so yeah, no, nothing too crazy. They might have changed some of like the booster pack stuff. I doubt they would have. I think they were pretty close on what they needed to do in terms of having this correct. Once again, I would have liked to see some sort of counterpoint to I'm able to go to all 3 internationals. I'm able to go to all 8 American regionals, right? As opposed to someone who may not be able to have those resources to get to that many events. And one of the better ways to do that, if they were going to keep the top X amount of players qualifying, would have been to lower this number. At least in my opinion. Of course, you still want people playing the game, right? They do want to reward people to play the game. So it's an interesting take. I'd be curious on everybody's thoughts down below, because I like Worlds being exclusive. I do think it's a decent option, and it's a decent way to get competitors to actually want to compete and to strive to push for more. I think I like that option. I just think right now there's still too much. Personally, maybe I'm wrong, but in my opinion, I feel like there's just too much of, well, I went to 8 regionals, so, I only have to perform well at 5 of the 8 that I go to. Whereas someone like, let's just take myself for example, I only went to 4 regionals this past season, right? And I probably, if I wanted my invite, I probably would have needed to perform like crazy at all 4 of them. I did get a top 32 and a top 64 between the 4 of them, but that's obviously not enough to qualify. And I don't expect to qualify off performances like that. But had I been able to go to more regionals, right, and I continue picking up a result like that every now and then, I feel like that puts me in the conversation for Worlds. So, like, all of a sudden, I don't think I deserve to qualify. But if I would have just gone to more events, I probably would have qualified. And is that deserving of an invite? I don't know. It's a weird take. It's an interesting topic to talk about. Like, there should be an upper limit at the amount of events. Is that a way to do that? Maybe I'm just talking nonsense now, and this might get edited out. But is there, like, an upper limit of an event that you can go to? Like, you can only actually attend 8 events. Is that, like, a thing? Is that an option? That also feels dumb, because that's counterintuitive to, hey, we want you to play the game. I don't know. I'm just spewing nonsense. Let's get back to the other stuff here. Travel award tiebreakers, I'm not concerned about. Let's be honest, I ain't getting the travel award, guys. I will figure out the tiebreakers for travel awards if I need to figure out the tiebreaker for a travel award. It does say they're going to be determined by play points, which, sure. So once again, they want you playing the game. It makes sense. Pokemon VGC Global Challenges we talked about already. Unite. Pokemon Unite Championships will no longer be part of the Championship Series. Okay, so I know I'm a VGC channel, but seeing games get eliminated from actual events kind of hurts. It looks like there is going to be at least some sort of Unite event, but that is kind of sad to see. That is kind of sad to see. I don't know. Pokemon for me was one of those things that like everybody was able to play in some way, shape, or form. So seeing Unite kind of get taken out of that, you hate to see it. You hate to see it, but at least they've given them something. I remember, what was the other game called? The fighting game called? When that got taken out of the circuit, they were just like, nah, sorry. I don't remember the name of the game, so I do apologize for that, but it just sucks when they decide to like, yeah, we're not going to go with this anymore. So it definitely hurts. World's qualifications, we went over already with the 90. Age divisions I don't really care about. I'm old, so I'm going to be in a Masters division, but they're there if you guys want them. Competitive play in Germany and Brazil. Higher age classification. I had no clue this was a thing. Huh. The more you know. Pokemon device policy. Okay, this is what I need to know. Are we allowed mobile? For the 2027 VGC Championship Series, competitors will have an option to use any of the console from the Nintendo Switch or Nintendo Switch 2 family of system. A separate device policy will be announced at a later date. So basically, to me, this right here means we really don't have an answer for you yet, but we wanted to at least put news out for you. So don't listen to this. Wait for this is basically what I get out of this, right? We know mobile's a thing. Chances are mobile's going to be a thing, but we just don't know how we're going to make it happen yet. So right now, stick to your Nintendo or Nintendo Switch, your Nintendo Switch or your Switch 2. Both of those guys will be guaranteed to be allowed. I think they'd be dumb to not include mobile devices. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. That you make this game, you make it on mobile, and now you can't. You get all these people in that can now play this game because they have a mobile device, and they're just like, nah, sorry, you can't compete, bro. It just seems like a really dumb strategy, in my opinion. So I would imagine we will get mobile at some point. I understand that logistics behind it are difficult, but I just don't see them doing this and then not having it as part of the circuit. It just seems really dumb. But once again, it is the Pokemon Company, and I have seen, 2 steps forward, 1 step back constantly. So, that looks like it's going to be it. Pokemon Go is here. I'm not too concerned about Go. It looks like it's still going to be a. The tournament will feature 3-on-3 team play with teams formed. I don't know what this means. I don't know enough about Go to break this down, but in terms of VGC, I mean, it looks like from what I'm relevant to, we've got 90 now here in North America for invites there. And that is pretty much the biggest part outside of, I think, like the locations for events, which obviously we didn't go over too much. But it's interesting, right? Because we got dates for the global challenges wherever they are. I don't know. I clicked on it. I don't know where it went. Whatever. Uh, but guys, I was honestly hoping for more news. I'm probably gonna put this video out anyways. Just kind of, I haven't posted a video in a while. Interesting thoughts. I am definitely curious to hear your thoughts down below. I was hoping for more from Pokemon, but I guess we're not going to get that. So let me know what your thoughts down below are. Are you hyped for the 2027 season? Are you still hyped for Worlds this season? Because, you know, that still has to happen, right? So I don't want to take away from what's going on this season, but news for next season is interesting. I am curious as to where this takes us moving forward. Obviously nothing crazy, nothing big, nothing game changing, but we will be preparing for that, guys, and I will keep you guys posted on anything updated from here on out, any major news moving forward. And with that, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to get out of here, and I will catch you all in a future video.